everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this look right here for you. It's kind of like another look geared towards summer. I'm trying to get all these summer looks in before it is over because it's quickly coming to an end. So yeah, so I did this warm tone summer look with this pop of color on the lower lash line. I really hope that you enjoy it, and if you do, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you go. Make sure you just go ahead and do it before you forget. So if you'd like to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Okay, so let's just go ahead and jump right into the tutorial. So first I'm going to prime my lid just with whatever concealer I have on hand at the moment. I'm just going to use this as a primer. It's just a personal preference of mine. I feel like it works just as good, if not better. I get a little bit extra coverage this way, I feel like. So this is what I like to do. And I'm just going to blend it out with this little brush here. You can use your finger too. Works just the same. God gave you fingers for a reason. So just make sure they're clean so you don't spread any bacteria. Right, so today I'm going to be using my Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I know I did several videos on this already, but I can't put it down, you know? And it comes back in stock on the 22nd of this month, which is like, I don't know. So I'm going to set my lids, and the only thing I have negative to say about this palette is there's not really a shade to set my lids with, set my primer. So I'm just gonna dip into some powder here. This is just my RCMA No Color powder. So I'm just dipping in that with a flat brush and just patting that all over the lid in the crease area all the way up to the brow bone, just so nothing's gonna crease throughout the day. Just making sure that everything works good, making sure that everything blends nicely, because when you're blending, it's a lot easier to blend a powder on top of a powder than a powder on top of a cream product. So that is why I set my lids. Okay, so for my first transition shade, I'm jumping to this shade right here. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that, and these are super pigmented, so I'm gonna tap off the excess and just pop that right into the crease, and just back and forth windshield wiper motions. And then once there is less product on my brush, I'm going to blend it in circular motions upwards toward the brow. And I'm using just a big fluffy brush to do this. Any big fluffy brush will work. And this is a Morphe R37, which is my favorite brush to use for my first transition shade, because it just kind of blows the product out everywhere. Nothing super precise, which is what I normally like for my first transition shade. And I'm just going to keep that brush nearby because I am going to pick it up again later in just a bit. So next I'm going to grab a more tapered brush, just tapers to a point here, and I'm going to pick up this shade in the palette. Just this warm tone, almost a reddish orange shade. So I'm just going to put this, I'm not going to blow it out as much as I did the other one. I'm going to put this one mainly right into the crease, like right where you can just feel like where your socket is. And so I want to do it right there. And if you don't have a crease, like you have hooded lids, then you can just create your own crease by just where someone would usually have one, and then just start there. I'm going to go back in with that bigger fluffy brush that we just used with no additional product and just help to blend it out so it's not so harsh and everything blends together a little bit better. And this taper brush, this is the Morphe M513. And because it's tapered, it's letting me get it more, it's letting me be more precise as to where my product is going. Picking up that fluffy brush again and just blending everything together. Alright, so now for the lid, I'm going to pick up this shade here. It's just this creamy orange shade. I'm going to be picking that up on this little flat brush here. It's just a nice flat dense brush. This is from Tweezerman, but these are just the best brushes to use when you're packing a shade onto the lid. So I'm just going to pack this shade all over. Just gonna go back in with that reddish orange shade that we just were using in the crease. I'm just gonna build it up a little bit more since we lost a little bit of that when we put on that lid shade. And I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that first transition shade that we used, and I'm going to use that to help blend this again. Alright, so next I'm going to go in with some wing liner, and I'm going to be using my Ico Skinny Back Liquid Liner. Okay, so now that liner is done, I'm going to go ahead and do my lashes here, and I'm just going to go ahead and curl them and coat them with some mascara. And today I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Original Voluminous Mascara to coat my lashes. This is probably definitely in my top 3 favorite mascaras of all time. It might just be like number 1 though, because I absolutely love this stuff. When you're prepping your lashes for falsies, you always, when you're putting on mascara, you don't want to do a ton, like you don't want to do more than 1 coat really. You just want to do enough to make all of your lashes black so that they blend well with the lashes. And today I'm going to be going in with my House of Lashes, the Sephora collection, Tinkerbell collection, the style Just Wing It. These are my favorite, so I'm going to go ahead and apply those and I will be right back. Okay, so now that lashes are on, we can go ahead and start with the face here. So the first thing I'm going to do is apply a little bit of primer. And today I'm going to use my Touch in Sol No Problem Primer, and this is supposed to hide pores and wrinkles. That's what it's supposed to do. So it's got like a creamy consistency, so if you're oily I probably would stay away from this, but I have normal to dry skin, so this should be fine for me. I've used it several times and it hasn't broken my makeup up or anything like that. So I'm going to put that mostly just in my problem areas, which is my cheek area. I'm going to put a little bit on my nose and just a little bit on my forehead as well, because it said it helps with wrinkles, and I have some fine lines on my forehead, so I'm going to do that there as well. Today for foundation, I'm going to go in with my LA Girl Cosmetics Pro Coverage HD Foundation. I'm just going to blend that out with my Beauty Blender today. Alright, so before concealer, I'm going to go in with my Becca Cosmetics Under Eye Brightening Corrector. It looks like this. It just has this this peachy pink color. So I'm just using this little angled concealer brush here, dipping in. I'm not getting it a ton because a little goes a long way with this stuff. I'm not going all the way under my under eye, and I'm not bringing it down really low, just exactly over where my dark spots are. Okay, so now for concealer, I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I'm going to conceal underneath the eyes here, and I always go up like this because it gives me more of that awake look, which is what I like. I'm just going to balance out the rest of the face by doing the chin, Cupid's bow, the nose, and the forehead. I'm just going to blend that out with my Beauty Blender as well. So to set my under eyes, I'm going to go in with my Laura Mercier No Translucent Powder. I'm going to use my Beauty Blender to apply that powder as well. And I don't use a ton of this stuff because I do find that it tends to get a little cakey if you use a lot. Like, I can't bake with this powder, but I do like it for setting the under eyes. I'm also going to use this to set my forehead, my chin, and my nose, everywhere else that I put that concealer just a moment ago. For bronzer, I'm going to go in with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I'm just going to use this brush from Luxie. It's the 514. I'm gonna bronze up the temples of my forehead as well. And the hairline. I always like to get the hairline. I'm just gonna go back in with my beauty blender and just kind of like pat on those edges of the bronzer on my forehead just to blend them together a little bit better. So I'm going to go and finish the rest of the eyes. Okay, so I'm going to go in with this pencil brush right here. This is from Morphe, it's the E18. And I'm going to use that orange color that we put all over the lid. I'm going to use that first, and I'm just going to smoke it out all on the lower lash line. I'm going to bring this color pretty low because I really want this look to be smoked out. So I'm going to bring this shade pretty low on the under eye. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with a smaller pencil brush than the one I just used. This is from Morphe as well, and it's the E36. And I'm going to use that reddish orange color that we put right into the crease. I'm going to keep this shade much closer to the lash line. I'm not going to smoke it out nowhere near as much. I want to be able to see that gradient effect of all the colors, so I don't want them all to just be the same. So now I'm just going to grab an angled liner brush, and I'm going to dip into this shade right here. This really, really pretty shade. It's like a bluish green. I just wanted there to be like this really cool pop of color, so hopefully it turns out the way I'm wanting it to. So I'm going to put this in my waterline. So now I'm going to highlight the brow bone in the inner corner. I'm going to grab this little detail brush here. It's from Morphe as well, of course, the 213. It's just this itty bitty little brush, perfect for highlighting. And I'm going to use this shade right here from the palette, this very, very first one. It's not as frosty as the second one. I'm not really into super frosty highlight. I'm just going to pop a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy. Well, I already did. Pop some up here as well, not a ton. Now I'm going to coat my lower lashes with the same mascara as I used on the top lashes. So now for highlighting my cheekbones, I'm going to go in with this little highlight trio from City Color. I'm actually going to mix these two, this gold and then this more pinky toned one. I'm going to grab this extra big fluffy highlighting brush. This is from Morphe as well. Obviously it's the M510. So I'm going to dip into both of those. See how that looks. When I highlight my cheekbones, I really like to get a nice amount on the apple of my cheek so that when you smile, you get that glow. I'm also going to get the nose and the bridge of the nose, the chin, and I'm probably going to bring it up just a little bit up here. For my lips, I'm going to go in with a ultra matte lip from ColourPop, and this is kind of like a peachy nude. This is in the shade Instigator. Alright, and this is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you go. And any questions, comments, anything like that, I'd love to hear what you have to think, so make sure you put them down below as well. And yeah, thank you again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! I'm just going to brown it up. Blah, 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 blah. This, ooh, hello. And I'm going to use my blue. Alright, so I'm going to go in.